on in. Have a seat. We're in our first inaugural morning meeting from the mountains.
We're former teachers, so we've done morning meetings. Well, you taught middle school. I taught little ones, so we did morning meetings. Did you guys do morning meetings?
It depended. When I was doing middle school and high school, it's periods, right? You're in block periods, so you don't have time for a morning meeting. But I did for 7 years. I did teach a classroom where we did do.
You had a homeroom.
Yeah, but it wasn't more. They were middle schoolers, so it wasn't. It's still not. But I've seen them on TV. I know what they are.
Well, I've
experienced them as a kindergartner.
But I'm a morning meeting pro. I should take the helm here, because are we unplugging? The spoon has come out. We'll tell you about the spoon in a second. I'm Cinnamon.
I'm Allison, and we are identical twins. If you can't
and together we are
two-thirds of the Sparks sisters. Is that
Sparks of Comedy.
Well, we are Sparks of Comedy. Yes.
I'm Cinnamon.
This will be more polished in the second episode, but we're trying to just keep it flowing for the first episode.
The magic of editing does.
We do want to run it like a classroom morning meeting, and Cinnamon is the pro because she taught second grade and first grade for like a decade.
Yes.
Is that true?
So if you think about, there's 180 school days.
We won't do that math right now.
And we do, Alexa, what's 180 times 10? I'm just kidding.
I think in the
1800. I knew that. 1800. So 1800 morning meetings. So
Teddy Bear is so upset
and
right
Teddy
now.
has come to some of those morning meeteds.
Yeah.
And he's certainly
hearing what I'm saying?
He's certainly here, isn't he? He's right. He's trying to get past you.
It's not going to happen. All right.
Hey, come on this side. Right this way.
First up on our agenda, we're just going to first say hello. Good morning, everyone. How are you doing in your corners of the world? I hope you're having an excellent September 1st. We're having an excellent August 30th because we're filming this a little bit in advance, but we won't.
You're seeing
That's a secret. That's a secret.
So a secret that's Allison's
that's
very
a
good.
public
Allison's
secret.
very good at keeping secrets. I've got like this tick where I think because the light is in my eyes, or I'm thinking I'm
tell stories.
Sorry, what? Because of what?
Calendar is next on our agenda.
Wait a minute.
Days of the week.
Days
of the week.
Are we listening and speaking? We have to be quiet little fox with the mouth closed, ears open. Shout out to Dan Gibbs who taught us that.
And some people might want to keep their anonymity because we know this is going to blow up, and we don't want Dan to be inundated by paparazzi. So we'll just say Dan, and we know who we're talking about, and hopefully he knows who we're talking about. We know a few Dans. But calendar is next on the agenda. All right, we're going to move on to calendar.
All right, before we do that.
Is there a before?
Yes, we're supposed to share updates. Did you want to just say anything about how you've been doing? Because we haven't actually seen everyone in a bit since I think Christmas 2021.
Well, we started off by doing in 2020 we were doing live interviews.
The
in 2020.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, we did our survivalist because we had just
that was on Instagram. I'm thinking of like YouTube. If you're on YouTube and you subscribe to our channel.
Then we did our countdown to the countdown, and now we thought we would do a live, filmed live show, just a little morning show, just a little morning meeting every morning for September, and it might go beyond September. We're not sure, but for September,
see how we do. We're gonna see how we do. It's a big commitment, and half the time
every morning for about 20 minutes.
And we have to front load some of the. We're trying to tape some ahead of time because we end up going up and down the mountain quite a bit to LA. So
by the way, front load is in my notes. Did you just peek down and see that? Is that why you said front load? Oh, that's interesting. That's ESP.
No, I mean I saw it before.
Good. Yes.
But not that moment because I was looking this way.
I feel like people are typing #cringe. Let's make sure we keep.
Oh no, we shouldn't call that out.
We'll cut that out. Okay.
For sure, I'm editing this episode, so there's going to be a lot cut out, and it's going to be cropped in tight.
All right, so quick update is we are still twin sisters living in a really isolated mountain at the edge, really popular mountain in an isolated cabin at the edge of a forest, a national forest. So
it wasn't. It was a very isolated little community
in 2020,
and then I would say right up until the pandemic hit, and then everyone and their brother came up here.
And their sister and their dog, their neighbors and their cousins. It's a crowd.
It's like now. Times Square on New Year's Eve. We're looking
every day,
looking for Ryan Seacrest.
And some people might want to keep their anonymity, so we'll just say Ryan, and he knows who we're talking about when we say January 1st. We're going to move into calendar. So next on our agenda, when we do our morning meetings, we're always going to do calendar, and this is a day This
This
time,
day,
this day
in history,
in history, but
but not for the
our
world.
history.
For us.
So I did bring a journal.
Allison has always been very, very good at keeping journals. My mom is like the goat of keeping journals. She has kept a journal since she was like a 14-year-old all the way through to
Our mom
present day.
has, we share a mom, but she has a journal. She has a cabinet with journals from like when she was 14.
Which is exactly what I just said.
But I was going to say she has like a literal
She
library,
does.
a book for every year.
every year.
And it's a lot of years. It's
And so
70.
we'll delve into those, but right
You
now,
said I was great at keeping journals. I've been great at keeping pockets of time that were, important to me, but I've only kept a daily journal maybe since 2019,
well,
20.
I've just now started doing a daily journal this year. That was my New Year's resolution, and so far I've done it.
Okay, so September 1st was a Tuesday in 2020, and it looks
2020.
like
We're still washing our groceries. Remember that?
fulfilled my personal goal of biking to Vaughn's and back. The ride was rough, capital letters underlined twice, uphill with a heavy cargo load. At Vaughn's, saw Ryan, that's our brother-in-law, and then chatted with a friend of ours. I won't say that name out loud, but a friend of ours. Had to do with our writing, and that was, so we're still doing meetings in 2020. Things were not quite on lockdown yet in September, apparently. That shocks me that we were still having, that was a meeting we were having.
Yeah.
That's
Well, maybe it's
interesting.
through Zoom and you just didn't say it?
No, it's by telephone instead. But
Oh, by telephone.
I didn't share the whole, it said it was a depressing meeting, so I wonder if it was because it said it was not a lot to update us on, so I'm guessing.
That was.
Yeah,
I think
that was
I think we were probably
gonna cut
in
this part
full.
out.
Okay.
Yeah,
What?
we'll cut this part. Do you think?
Well, I didn't see what name you were pointing to. So I was
Oh,
just smiling and
if I
nodding.
do, you would. I'll say it now, and here's where you cut.
Oh, that's what, when we were
Yes,
still
that's
speaking
why.
terms of
Oh,
days.
cut.
What I'm doing really
Cut
quickly, in case
there.
we can't use the journal, since I don't keep a journal, I used to keep a very comprehensive social media account, which I'm not doing anymore. But when I did, I could use the archive, this day on your Instagram.
Oh, yes,
So
yes.
I will use that in lieu of a journal. And
Tomorrow, when we do September 2nd.
Well, no,
moving past
what's
calendar,
happening?
we're now into
not
weather.
Just if you could just
We're
hold
gonna-
that thought, and we'll see. On this day 2 years ago, we were in the forest. So that hasn't, and so it's just a forest pic. So I must have thought that our days were numbered here in the forest, and fast forward 4 years later.
This
we
is our
just
last
keep-
year, though. This is our last year. That's a
board to
spoiler
play.
alert.
That's
Spoiler
board to play.
alert. June 2024, our lease is up here, and we both decided that we have to come up with a plan because we are going down to LA quite
With
a
separate
bit,
plans
so.
because we had never actually lived
We were never
together
roommates
until...
before, so a separate plan, but a nearby plan. There's no animosity here. Just a lot of dogs, basically.
I'm just teasing with my little winks at the camera.
Did you?
I
Oh,
was just teasing.
we'll
just
cut all of
teasing.
this out. We're way past 35 minutes. We haven't even.
No, we're nowhere near. We've got about 2 good minutes. We've got about 2 good minutes that we can actually use.
Next on our weather. So morning meeting, we always do weather, so we're going to tell you the weather. In
It
the
feels
mountains.
okay.
You could probably do it
I
on
was gonna
yours.
say, it feels like you're the
then.
MC for today.
I'm doing the agenda, but I
also have the
and now
agenda for it.
well,
Oh.
that's a good
Oh.
point. It's a fair point.
Oh.
But would you like to do the weather? Because I don't have any internet. This is all photographs.
Oh, okay, the weather. Oh, you want me to read it from... should I read it from the...
Today's
We have
weather.
our local weather guy who posts on his website or see where... If
I
they
think we just do
match.
weather.com for here and for our 2 sister cities.
Oh, okay.
So our weather on
So
the carpet
Allison
here.
had
And the,
So...
Yep. So for our morning meeting, we're going to do our local mountain weather each day, but we're also going to tell you our sister cities, which we've decided are Norwalk, Connecticut,
our hometown.
our hometown, and Rye, which is
My future hometown.
our heart town, the town we both love and aspire to one day. Or if Sin lives there, I can visit a lot, and that would be great.
They don't allow bully breeds, so Allison can't bring her dog, so you won't be able to live there for at least 16
Bully breeds
years.
is a very negative term, and so I can feel it. Oh, everyone's
Oh, is
writing
that
in.
really?
Yeah, well,
Is it?
a bully breed.
But isn't that what they're called?
My dogs are
Collectively?
bullies.
Allison's dogs are sweethearts, but I know that
We
in
won't
Europe they
say
have
that.
very... No?
Well, Europe has a lot of. We won't go down
No?
that road.
Okay. Okay. So, yeah, we're down to maybe now 2.5 good minutes we can actually use. Today, this is hysterical. Today, the high is going to be 82, the low is going to be 65, but today is tomorrow. So tomorrow's today, high 79, low 60.
It's actually 2 days from now, September 1st.
Okay, sorry.
That's right. So
it's going to be a high of 71, cool front coming, and a low of 57. But I went to the grocery store yesterday morning, and I had just been down in LA, and it was like 100 degrees and all. It was so hot.
Yeah.
And I came.
It was fair enough. It was hot here. It was in the 80s. That's really hot.
For here. But in contrast, having just come up from LA, I was like, so I went to the grocery store, and I was just trying to have some chit chat with the cashier, and I said, "Oh, it's so good that the fall weather has finally come." And it was like crickets. She's like staring at me, and she's like, "We're in a heat advisory right now. We're having record heat." I was like.
Well, when I went, we have a little local zoo. It's a rehabilitation zoo. Yeah. And I was standing in line behind what I'm guessing are Los Angelinos or someone from the Flatland.
So yeah, that's what they call. Now that might be, I don't know if we can say that.
Flatland? Well, the land is flat.
But no, is it though? I think that's derogative.
Is it? I put it in my Instagram a few times.
Did you really?
I have.
Oh, I think we just say off the mountain.
Off the mountain. Okay. Well, people from off the mountain, apologies to anyone who's offended by the term flatland. But
I think it's just like, I think it's a mountain secret that's what they refer to the people down there.
Oh, I just think it's funny. But we were at the zoo.
Well, you can use. I'm not really. I have no dog in. I'm not from California. I'm not from the Flatland or the Mountain Land. I'm from Connecticut. So, I felt that came so.
All right, you have to be watching the video to get that joke. But I'll just say when we were, that's not what the spoon is for.
You want to tell them what the spoon is for?
I will in a second. Okay. Just get the story out about this. It is connected to the story that was told 20 minutes ago about the grocery store.
There's the magic of editing. It was told just seconds ago.
So our zoo has a policy that because of the heat wave, aka the 80s, when you buy an admission into the zoo, they give you, if you keep your receipt, you can come another day as well.
Within a month. Within a month of the
It's
purchase.
not guaranteed the animals will be out because 80 for animals that are used to mountain weather is super hot. So a lot of the animals
they're all mountain animals, to be fair.
They're like snow leopards and mountain lions and grizzly bears. So and they can go inside. They have
they leave their little
access
doors open
to,
so they can go into the.
So the woman in front was the lady from the zoo was explaining this to the, I'm guessing, Angelinos, but maybe not. And she said, because it's so hot, blah blah blah. She told the whole thing, and this young, very hip couple turned to each other and like, hot? This is hot. By the way, they were wearing jackets. It's 80. They're like, this is hot, and I was like.
See, so when you come up from LA, 80 feels like a relief.
Yeah.
But it's all relative.
Here it's super hot, right? Relative.
It's all relative. Because now we've been here a couple days.
What do they say? Never talk about the weather unless you hate the person. Is that what they say, or did I just make that up?
Who do you hate?
I just say, talking about the weather is like when you make small talk, just talk about the weather. I'm saying we've just spent like 30 minutes talking about the weather.
We don't even need no. It feels like 30 minutes. It's probably been.
Check your clocks.
Half that. What tea are we drinking today? Oh, and then we can talk about the tea.
Well, no, let's do it. You said it.
Today's tea is an iced tea, speaking of the heat.
It is. It's iced tea.
Because these lights, we're also under the lights, and the lights, I'm guessing it's...
And our producer's running back and forth and generating so much heat. And by that, we mean our dogs. My dogs.
We call Allison's dogs, she has 2 dogs, sibling dogs, and we call them collectively the farmers because they were found on a farm.
But iced tea, hibiscus.
Hibiscus.
With
no sweeteners at all. Nothing sweet.
No sweeteners, but 1 tea bag green tea, 2 tea bags hibiscus, sun tea made out on the porch. The green tea is because it detoxes, and the hibiscus is for the flavor. Did you know I put green tea?
I knew that each day you've been making it green tea because you're trying to do a health thing, and then you add flavors because green tea tastes But I wanted to say the reason we did the hibiscus this morning.
Yeah.
It was a shout out to one of the coffee shops that we used to go to, but we went to here, and we will one day again.
I wonder which one you're talking about. Wait.
That served the hibiscus. The one that we took Teddy Bear to that had the hibiscus tea. The one next to the Village Pizza.
Oh yes. It's a tea shop. Yeah.
Yes. And we had hibiscus tea.
Sin, I totally forgot.
When you asked me this morning what kind of tea did you want, I was thinking of that. I was thinking of that.
I was just thinking of flavor. I didn't actually even think of that story. The spoon. When we were growing up in Connecticut and we had family meetings to determine things like...
Whose turn it is to talk? Oh, No, I'm sorry. What the family meeting
Cinnamon
was for.
never learned though. She never learned.
I haven't had a spoon near me this
And
entire
yet,
time.
and yet, the spoon determines who gets to talk. But our family meetings were about things like what movie to see. We're like,
Oh, yeah.
They were like,
Or
silly
they were
family
like,
meetings. Who's
who's
chores?
been leaving the wet towels
Yeah.
in the hallway, that kind of thing.
But whoever had the spoon got to speak because there were 5 of us. And 3
There
children.
still are 5 of us plus some, so.
A few more. So, Sin, you can have the spoon now.
Oh, thank you.
That means I can do all the talking because apparently it's opposite.
Use it like a mic.
We don't want to call anyone out. We want to use anonymity, so we won't say Mike. But we'll say Mike, and he'll know who we're talking about.
That's gonna be a. What's it called?
Don't call it out when we know it's
Flow
going to be
line?
it. Don't call it out,
Oh,
though.
don't
Don't
call
call
it
it
out.
out. Makes it less funny.
Um,
All right.
mm.
Next on our agenda, we've
I
done
didn't
weather.
do the sister cities yet, though.
Our sister city.
Sure. So
Okay.
in Norwalk, Connecticut, the high is 76, the low is 55. Very comparable,
Yeah.
give or take a few degrees. You'd expect because we're up in the mountains, it's going to be a little.
My memory
cooler.
of summers in Connecticut are lightning bugs.
Oh yes.
Yeah. We don't have
And
lightning
very humid.
Well, always very humid. I remember we had to have our AC on for much of the summer, and we don't have AC up here, so.
No, nature.
No.
We have nature's air conditioning. We have a couple weeks when it's in the 80s, and then it's
By nature's
really
air conditioning, we
mild.
mean fans. We do have fans.
No. We have, but I know we just did the weather, but I mean on other days it's in the 40s at night in the summer. That's
All right,
possible.
so what is...
And then in Rye,
Oh, Sister City Rye.
Sister City Rye, they have rain. I love the rain now.
I
Isn't
love
it funny
rain.
how now
Well,
when you've been in the desert long enough, you really appreciate
And
it.
by desert, Sin is actually referring to Southern California as a whole.
Well, because we are a
It's
desert.
been
aren't
like,
we?
so Cinnamon and I moved out here right after college, so about 5 years ago.
Well, you did.
Yeah.
I lived.
Did you
I
catch
lived-
that?
What?
Did you? You did.
you?
You caught it.
Did
But,
you say 10 years ago?
5.
Oh.
Oh, look at you adding. Anyway, we've spent about a decade and a half or more out here in Southern California.
But you spent
It
more
never
time here
rains.
than I have.
It never
I've
rains.
been here.
Well, we
for
won't give a... Save that for episode
4,
2.
6,
We won't... Not till episode 2.
4.
Uh-oh.
So I've been here just under 10 years.
Episode 2.
Okay,
But,
so in Rye, it's raining. It's raining today.
buckets,
Friday.
cats, and dogs.
58 degrees is the low. 71 is that? It's exactly our temperature, but with rain and thunderstorms.
I wish we had rain and thunderstorms. I apologize for the... Let me just clear my throat. Sorry. I say that because I've seen on live podcasts, and by that I mean the Big Brother live feeds, people complain when they're like, clear your throat, clear your throat. So I don't want to... They're painting next door. I just want to put that out there. The house directly next door is being
the
painted.
little cabin.
And the
I don't think you can say
fumes-
house. The cabin next door.
The
'cause
fumes are...
potent. We've had all of our doors and windows closed, which is like one of the hottest days of the year up here. So it's and I'm wearing flannel and we're under
I
lights.
had flannel on. I had to take it off. Kudos to you, Sim,
Whew.
for seeing that through. I could not keep the flannel going. It's way too hot.
It's intense.
All right, so now we're doing our wildlife watch. Go ahead,
I was
Sim,
gonna introduce
wildlife
it.
watch.
So now we're going to do our wildlife watch, and Allison found a very interesting.
Oh.
So here, our wildlife watch, we have a few different.
We're on the edge of a national forest. Keep that in mind. So it's a wildlife watch is hourly. There's a lot of wildlife: deer, bear, cougars, none of which we've seen. We have seen a deer.
We did see a deer on the range,
But coyotes.
but we also have 3 dogs and 2 cats in this 600 square foot cabin. So there's also wildlife watch inside as well. But
True.
the different modes by which we can access wildlife are: we have a Ring doorbell. The neighbors have Ring
There's
doorbells.
also a security camera, and we also have the front. The most of the wildlife is in the back.
Yes,
We won't talk about
and
the
then
front.
we thought we could also talk about, like, for example, the zoo right now has baby cougars.
And
cougars.
when we have
Juvenile
a very
cougars.
active eagle
Jackie
wildlife
and
up
Shadow,
here, Jack
so
and
we can do little
Shadow.
updates. But today, Allison saw something on the ring. You're much better about checking the ring than I am.
I get alerts. I don't know if you
I get
one.
alerts and I just ignore them.
Oh, I don't ignore mine. But today,
Because they're really, to be fair, quite frequent, aren't they, Al? Do you really check every single
well,
one?
I think on a lot of people's Ring doorbells, what you see are like
the mailman.
or what are they called? Package pirates? Is that what they're called?
Well, people are looking for package pirates,
But that's often what you get alerts about. So and so is a so and so pirate and blah, this and or people talking about stranger in the neighborhood. That's not at all. Up here, it's literally 24/7, like Marty Stauffer's Wild Kingdom. Is that what the show used to be?
Marty Stauffer?
Is it?
Is
Is
it?
that? But it's
Wild
constant
America.
wildlife, constant, hourly, or lost dogs. So we have a mother coyote and her 2 pups that pass through our backyard from wherever their den is to the wider forest. We're definitely on their nightly trail where they pass by, and we've been watching them, and we kind of, since the pups were small and they're getting bigger, so we feel a little protective of them. But on someone's ring,
just 0.2 miles away.
0.2 miles away, so we know it's like
on our street, or
and it's her. I'm sure it's her.
Yeah.
A husky is, oh, Alexa, stop. We're out of time. I told you the time.
Finish your story and we'll do our side. But really, there's going to be some
We can add a little bit. Okay.
Let's do some padding because.
Well, we can take that. So on the Ring doorbell, it's her. I know it's her. She's running, and you're wondering, why is this coyote running so fast? And then behind her, a husky comes running. Meanwhile, she has slowed down because it's a street, so she stops and looks at the street. And she probably thought, well, I'm out of the yard. The husky will stop. But the husky's charging at her, continues running. Then they both run into a yard. And I was kind of concerned for the coyote, but someone in the comments is worried it could be a trap for the huskies. So
because they say sometimes coyotes will
lure
a dog into a scenario where there's.
That said, huskies are pretty good, I think, defending themselves.
I was shocked until I moved here and saw them firsthand. I was shocked how small a coyote is. That's not to say it's not.
I think smaller
dangerous.
dogs are definitely at a higher risk. I think larger dogs would have to be a very hungry coyote. I would think. I think it would be a desperate coyote because there are so many chipmunks and rabbits.
Comment below if you disagree with us. Because
do you
we're
think
learning.
that the husky is in danger, or is the coyote in danger? We're curious which we should be more concerned about in that.
We're
scenario.
definitely more concerned about the coyote. But
we were like, oh no, I hope she comes out of this. But again, in the comments, they were very worried about the huskies. So.
Oh, on the Ring?
Yeah. Story time. Okay, this is our favorite. Every morning meeting, you have to have a little story, and we thought we'd tell you a story about fall.
Hold for dog
Hold
drinking.
for dog drinking water.
He actually stopped drinking for a second.
Hold. I have a story of Legends of the Fall. I was walking innocently with Max. Cinnamon and I were both going on a hike this time, Cinnamon and Honey, and I was walking with Max, and I hear a, hey, and I look up, and I guess we're saying hey, because it's something Honey had done, and I see a person midair, almost like a Matrix, where it felt like time had frozen, and you're like midair, your feet tucked underneath you, like you wanted to land on your knees, and then
I
that's
didn't
all
want to land on my knees. It's just how.
Oh, so now you can go ahead.
I was in the middle of navigating this huge step you have to do over this log on this really steep incline right when Honey yanked me.
So I hear a hey.
And
hey.
Well, it was a hey.
No.
Hey.
Hey.
No, it was like a Snow
No,
White to the
no.
forest creatures.
Hey.
It was definitely
now.
It was a hey.
No. It scared me. I was like, it was like, what? What now?
That's all gonna be cut out, just so we know. So I was like, hey
now.
And I realized in that split second as I was losing my balance, and
Sim was airborne.
To lean into the fall. So
I don't get this. Sim told me later, because honestly, Cinnamon catapulted into the air.
I bounced twice.
Like the way, picture the shape you do with your body when you're going to do a cannonball in a pool. That's what Cinnamon looked like as she. I was like, why is it cannonballing into the ground?
I was leaning into the fall because if you resist,
no, that's
fall,
not how it works.
You can really
no,
break
that's not
something.
how it works. Or you can just not fall. I asked him later.
Not falling was not an option. Not falling was
that's
not
what you said.
I was no.
She was pulling on me, and I was like, "What do I? I'll just give in to the fall."
Because I was falling.
Or you can stand.
No, I tried out. I was mid-step. I didn't have I had one leg on the ground. The other thing.
Well, then
you
didn't give in to the fall.
Tuck into that fall.
No, you didn't tuck into
twice it. Like a ball. Rolled down the mountain a little bit.
That's not
and
giving into the fall.
Was laughing
it's
the
called
entire
falling.
time. Allison was laughing the entire time.
It looked like someone doing a cannonball into the ground. I looked up. I hear, what? I look up, and Cindy was like holding her knees, like I was like, "What's happening?"
That was not.
And that's the bounce.
Anyway, so happy fall. I think we're going to skip everything else because I think we've come to the
end on our what's next on our agenda, because I've just lost the I don't know how these old iPads work. I just get so well.
Wait. My iPad.
Hold for agenda. Hold for agenda. All right, we
I
did
had
our...
a good news story I was going to tell.
Well, we'll have to do that. Maybe that's next
time,
story
tomorrow.
time.
Join us tomorrow, Monday. Join us on Monday for a good news story.
And we also,
Or two.
obviously, part of our morning meeting, as we get better at this and condense it a bit more, we do our show and share. We want to do show and share with you guys. We'd
Show
love
and
to
tell,
have
as we call it.
show and tell, show and share.
Show and tell, show and share.
Thank you for joining us for today's morning meeting. See you tomorrow.
Well,
Oh, did you have?
I have a little. I just want to do a little Lovey shout out to Lovey.
Shout out to Lovey. And remember, do unto others
as others would do. Wait, sorry, I wasn't prepared for that. I knew you talked about that. Wait. Lovey, shout out to Lovey.
Shout out to Lovey. Do a little more cash, then keep a little more cash. You just stopped the whole thing.
Sorry.
Did more cash.
Shout out to Lovey. Lovey, we see you, Presh.
We see you, love. And remember, do unto
You did not clear the shaking gear. You
I'll
told me
do it.
you were going to do that.
Hi, Lovey.
What? You are. You should do it too. I'll do this. You do the other side though. That's the hard. Shout out to Lovey.
Hi. Shout out to Lovey, and remember, do unto others. Care Bears. It's like a Care Bears sort of. Care Bears. Care Bears unite. All right, let's do it.
Right.
Here, this is our shout out to Lovey. We're going to do our old handshake tomorrow.
You did it wrong.
That was for our childhood. We have not done it.
Wait.
Bump, 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 da, 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 da. No, it's this.
Oh.
Da, 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 da. Slick as a cat.
Senior
Center. Shout out to Karen, our cousin. We've not done that since.
Shout out to Lovey.
That is buried deep.
That was. We haven't done that. In
You
at
have
least,
tears on your.
I know that was. But they can't see it, so you shouldn't call it out.
They
If you
can't,
help
but you
it.
can. I
If you
bet.
can help it.
It's on a big screen, I'm sure. They've got us on their big screen TVs, and the families gather around.
We'll see you guys next time. In the meantime, do unto others.
As you would have them do unto you.
Are we going to
I don't know.
keep the tea hot and the
Nope.